Good evening, everybody, and welcome back. I am Sammy here at Sammy J Stitches. I said welcome back, but if you're new here, thank you for joining me. Um, so I'm doing this at work because this may happen a lot still. I know that I want to record at home, but I'm going to be working up until the 5th, and then the 5th and 6th I'll be in San Antonio for Ryan's follow-up appointments. And then I'll pretty much work straight through until his geneticist appointments. Then it should calm down a little bit, but I am also going to take every on-call day possible because we have to pay for our trip to London. The hotel and the airfare are paid for, but you need extra money for food and buying stuff and enjoying yourself. So I'm going to try not to fidget with the hair constantly. It's all wavy because I had it French braided last night. While I was at work. So, I'm trying not to mess with it too much. But if I put it behind my ear, I feel like I look really silly. Anyway, and look, I immediately did it. Okay, so I am doing this a little late tonight because I spent all night video stitching with several friends. Everybody... all friends from the virtual Stitchers group. This one was not hosted by me. It was hosted by Regina, the Sweary Stitcher. She put up a video yesterday. Then she had some free time, decided she wanted to host a stitch-in, posted it in the Facebook group Virtual Stitchers. And over the course of the night, we had usually 6 to 7 people in there at any given time, and it rotated throughout the night. She was only planning to host it from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. or something like that. The room ended up staying open until 1 a.m. With me, Brenda Greer, and Stitching May shutting it down just a few months ago so I could do this and so they could get some sleep. So it's going very well. This one, of course, was just a Google Hangout because it was a last minute, hey, I'm available, let's do this. I have my monthly one scheduled for the 7th of every month, except for September. I had to move it back to the 6th because of having to schedule off for Ryan's appointment. So as soon as I get back from San Antonio, so I've scheduled them from 9 p.m. to midnight, or 9 p.m. to 1 a.m., something like that. But they'll start as soon as I'm available, and they'll last as long as there's somebody to chat with to keep the room open. I think the broadcasting, because I'm broadcasting, if I leave, it will end up shutting that part of it out. But, we'll just see how it goes. The first one, again, is September 6th. As soon his appointment is in San Antonio at 1. I figure we'll head straight home after that. If not, grab food. And so I should make it home around 5 or 6 in the evening. Probably 6 or 7. And then as soon as I can jump on, I will. So even though they're planned for those times, the times may change a little bit. And those are my set monthly one. Each week when I get my schedule, if I know, like tonight, I was able to hop on and I'm at work because the location I'm at had enough service. Or if I know what my days off for the week are, I'll plan a couple. On my days off, I'd like to try and do one in the morning time because, not everyone can be up at the hours that I am. I'll do my best to try and get a range for everybody in there. But at least join us once or twice. See what you think. Host one yourself in your time zone with people that can, join you. Because I know that, I'm Central Standard Time, but I'm a night owl. I'm a vampire. I work nights. So the times that I am on is usually after my kids go to bed or after things have settled down here at work. So there are some people that, even though they're Central Time, mornings work best for them. We're trying to make it so that everybody can do this. You just may end up having to host for yourself instead of having one of us host for you. So far it's going really well. Hopefully it continues to go well. Yeah. So, I didn't even realize I was going to have that spiel until just now. So glad we got the announcements over with. I've been sticking with Arbitrary August. Mine is less arbitrary as I do not allow my spinner to pick the same project more than once because I want to work on everything. One of the things I'm really enjoying about the spinner is, so even though I plan out my month, if I have to skip a couple days because of work and I have to move my schedule around, sometimes the ones that will get moved and moved and moved and not worked on as much are the ones that I don't have as big of a passion for as I do some of my other ones. And so with the spinner, a couple of those, when they've popped up, I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to work on it. And I have found a whole new love for them. I'm like, why did I put this off so long? Because I really do enjoy this one. It's not that I dislike any of my whips. It's that sometimes when I haven't touched anything in a really long time, or one of my other pieces are, really in the meat of it, and you're getting maybe not close to a finish, but closer than you are on some of your other ones, you're like, okay, that one all the time. And since I'm not a monogamous stitcher, it'll get hooked in my head, and some of these other ones don't. So all this to say, I'm really enjoying the spinner. I'm anxious to keep doing it. I did so one of the things is I want to try and get my year of whips completed. And I know that the purpose of the year of whips is to finish all those projects that you, or all the goals in the projects, because some of them it's like a page finish. To finish all those by the end of the year. And realistically, I knew I probably wouldn't complete them all, but I knew I could complete at least half. I have definitely completed half, but I am going to get so close to hitting my goal on every single one of them. So what I did on my Tiny Decisions app, because in the free version you can have 3 wheels. I think if you buy the full version, it's 99 cents, you get more. I haven't done it yet. I'm having a feeling I'm going to before too long. So #ArbitraryAugust, this is the one that I'm currently editing every time I need to. Every time I work on one of these, you see there's not very many on the wheel. I take them off so that I don't spin the same one twice. This is all of my projects currently in rotation. I think it's up to date. I need to check it because, as I'll explain in a minute, I currently have a UFO. Anyway, so there's that one. So my third one is just my year of whips projects. And it looks like a lot, but that's actually them repeated on there. So the only ones I have are, can you see this? Christmas Rules, Welcome to, Quotes to Live by, Autumn Wreath, and Foxglove. 5. The only other one I would have had on there that I don't is the Mini Treasure Hunt bookshelf, because I said I wanted to get 1 page finish on it, on each one of my heights. But, as I'll show you in a minute, I completed that goal. So these are all the goals I have left. Christmas Rules has 1.5 blocks left. Foxglove, it's pretty well along. I could probably finish it by the end of the year. But I have to think realistically because I only work on them 1 day each month. So how much can you get done in a day? But sometimes it goes pretty well. So all that to say, my focus piece for next month. Every month except for January, I've picked a Year of Whips piece. I currently do not have a Year of Whips that hasn't been a focus piece. So, computer keeps freezing up. I hope that doesn't mess with the video. Anyway, so I spun from what is left on my Year of Whips for next month's focus piece. So it will be Foxglove from Nora Corbett. Nora Corbett's Foxglove. So Autumn Wreath will finish tomorrow night. Saturday night? What? Wait. It is currently Thursday, August 30th. So tomorrow night, the 31st, is the last night I will work on Autumn Wreath, and then I will start working on Foxglove. I am behind on Autumn Wreath based on that chart that I try and fill in all the blocks. I have 450 left. One more day. Well, I've got tonight and tomorrow. So I should be able to get that. If not, then I will rush and do some back stitching to finish it out. To finish out and make sure I get enough stitches in. I was trying to avoid the back stitching, so we'll see. But let me go ahead and show you where that is at. It has gotten so much progress since I started this focus that I was really tempted to keep it as my focus piece for this next month. But I decided to draw. So, let's see. Right here is the end of page 1. And this is all in the last few days. And this is the end of this portion. So I'm already got a lot done. It's amazing how much progress I get when it's my focus piece. Even being behind like I am. So, that was that. The other thing, where did I put it? It's in my lap. So, I didn't get overly prepared for the video because once we all got off the Google Hangout, I was like, I need to do it. Let's just do it. Come on, let's do it. So, let me see. Do I need to pull it out? Yes, I need to pull it out. This is my Heaven and Earth Design Mini Treasure Hunt Bookshelf by Amy Stewart. I finished page 2. That's this. I really can't do this left-handed. Okay. This is the line for page 2. This is the beginning of page 3, which I just started today. And today was day 59 out of 100 days of Haid. So I will continue to work on this for another 41 days. 39. 30. Whatever. 1 makes it 50, 40, yeah. 41 days? Because math, I apparently don't do it. So yeah, that's where that's at. If I want to finish the next page by the end of 100 days of Haid, I have to complete at least 160 stitches a day. More than likely not going to happen, but maybe we can get like half a page done. Because, I mean, we've still got another almost half the thing. So, I'm loving where that's at. I'm loving this. Having to work on it a little bit every day makes it easier because about the time I get bored with it, I need to be putting it up and working on something else anyway. It's amazing. So exciting. Just to have page 2 done. I know that means I have 13 more to go. 2, 3, 5, 7. Like 7 pages are like barely this much of a page, but you know, still 2 out of 15 pages done. Okay, so some stuff I've worked on this week. One day, I spun the spinner, and I don't have the piece here to show you. I thought I did. Spun the spinner. It landed on Fall Pumpkin by Alessandra Adelaide. It's a piece that was in a magazine I was working on. Got it out, put about 30 stitches in, realized that my fabric was not going to be big enough. Not going to be big enough by a long shot. Like, I don't know if originally I said when I cut the piece, when I'm supposed to be doing this 1/1, I didn't write it down, I guess, because when I started it for Stitch Mania, I started at 2/2, and it was not going to be big enough. I was already having problems with the fabric from the first time I tried to stitch on it, and I knew I couldn't do 1/1 on it. So I said I just junked it completely. That will be a restart later this year, maybe next year, who the hell knows. But it's really no skin off my back right now. Like I said, I have so many projects that I'm absolutely in love with. I have several projects that I'm so eager to start, and I'm trying to be patient and wait for a reason to start them, whether it be a Sal or Stitch Mania or whatever. So I'm not even sweating the small stuff. So there was one day last week I was having the crappiest day ever. Like, we were stressed out because it was right before Ryan's surgery. The stress was causing us to bicker and complain, and me and my husband both. I forgot what else happened that day. It was like everything compiled. I was just having the crappiest day. And I spun my spinner, and it landed on a Lizzie Kate. I feel like I've been doing so much Lizzie Kate lately that I was like, well, do I really want to work on that? And I said, you know what? The will has spoken. I will do this project. And once I got to working on it, and I remembered what the whole piece was, because I don't look at the chart or the entire pattern every time I go to work on something. I just pull out the fabric, I see what little stitching has been done, and I'll just start going. As I was starting to stitch this, I was reminded what it said. And it's Lizzie Kate's to-do list. And when I read to-do list as the title, I'm like, okay. But then I looked at the full pattern. And on a crappy day, this was exactly what I needed. It says, my to-do list for today: count my blessings, practice kindness, let go of what I cannot control. And I know it says can't, but I emphasize this because this was part of the reason for the crappy attitude, was because Ryan's surgery was coming up, and it was a lot of unknown and can't control and stress. And so let go of what I can't control. Listen to my heart. Be productive yet calm. Just breathe. Like, if I felt like I could count halfway decent, that would have been the words I stitched that day, because I just needed to stop and breathe. So the wheel spoke to me, and it picked an excellent pattern, and I'm going to show you again how far I got. Yes, I am loving how it is turning out. I did change colors. It was one of those where I just kind of, hold on a second, had a new driver. Okay, so I did substitute out some colors just because of the colored fabric. I felt like these colors would work better. And so I just kind of pulled them. I didn't really have a method or anything like that. If you want to know what colors they are, just let me know, and I will look them up. And this fabric was a piece of, I think it's MCG Textiles, even weave. I got from like Hobby Lobby or whatever, and I dyed myself. So, yep, there we go. Now, I noticed I did start it down a little low, so I'm hoping I have enough to finish it out. But we'll see. We shall see. Okay, next. Now I'm all messed up because I got interrupted. You'd think at 1:30 in the morning I would not get interrupted, but then they probably wouldn't even have a night shift, right? Okay, I told you about fall pumpkin. Let's see, what's this one? This is the one I worked on last night. My nose is kind of running all of a sudden. This is another one where I started for Stitch Mania. I did like 27 stitches or something like that. I just started on this top little border right here. And then when I worked on it last month, I worked on a little bit more border. And then, I was still three of these little things away from the end when I started last night. So I finished out that row, and then I got started on the stamps. And once I got started on the stamps, I found a whole new love for this thing. I was powering through. I just was so excited about it again. And I hadn't felt that way about it since starting it for Stitch Mania. So I was really happy with the progress. I did 936 stitches on this thing last night. So it's awesome. So excited about that one. Again, all over again. So, and that's the thing about Toto Stitch patterns. When you look at them, sometimes you're like, wow, that's a lot of work. But then you start stitching it and you're like, it actually kind of stitches up a little bit fast. It really wasn't too bad. So that was awesome. Alright. I have a couple more somewhere, I think. Oh, yes. Okay. One of the other ones I spun this week was one you've seen before. Well, you've seen all these before, but before since I started Arbitrary August. And it's called At Our House by Lizzie Kate because I am doing it twice. Once for somebody else. Somebody else, and one's for myself. And I worked on this one. I worked on this one while I was at home one night when I was pretty tired, so I didn't get a lot of stitching in. I ran out of one of the colors and didn't want to run out to the truck to get the floss for it, the purple. So that's as far as it got, but it got a little bit, I had half the H. I finished out the rest of where I got on house and worked on that yellow border. Not a lot, but it's something. The other one's so much further. But really, between the two, I'm more worried about finishing that other one because it's not for me. The one for myself, if it takes 3 years, who cares? But it won't. Because it's another one of those that it stitches up pretty fast once I actually sit down and stitch it. So, if I have a good night of stitching, I see a lot of progress. Alright, and I think this is my last one, except for tonight, which I'm still working on, but I'll show you. This is one I worked on the other night when I was home. It was my last night off, after Ryan's surgery and everything like that. I finally gotten the house clean enough, and I had to stay up late, so I was able to actually put some good work into it, and I watched 50 Shades of Grey, the newest one, and Bad Moms Christmas, so I was just having a little me night and enjoying stitching on this. Every time I pull this one out, I love it a little bit more. This was a pattern that was given to me after the person who stitched it completed it. Her name is Brenda Jezik on Stitchy groups. She's in several of them. And I love the pattern. I love the fabric. Did do some color converting because the blue that, where it's purple, it was blue. And those, the color that they had picked matched this perfectly. It's like a 3811, I believe. It is madness and chaos around here. What is that? Oh, taillights. So, I'm really loving where it's at. I got most of that branch, all of the butterflies, started on the bird, worked on Live until I ran out of that colored floss and didn't feel like going out to the truck because I was into my movies and just kept going, right? So, there was that. Okay, one more thing to show you that is the one I spun for tonight. And then I have a couple things that I purchased to show you, and then I can let y'all go and see y'all next time. I feel like I'm being watched. There's so many trucks sitting like there, and there. I feel like I'm being watched. Okay. The next one I spun is my Mira mask. That's what I called it. This was the free Mirabelle Minions exclusive that we got at the retreat. And that's where I'm at. So since I started working on it at midnight, I have completely filled this yellow in, more than the darker yellow that goes across the top. And I'm going to continue to work on it because it's only 2 o'clock in the morning. I still have a few hours, and then I can put it up and get ready for tomorrow night. I have, let's see, on my wheel, because I'll spend technically when I spin tomorrow, it'll be for September, because I don't actually start the spinning until after midnight, and tomorrow night at midnight is, I'll spin one more time. It gets a little confusing with this whole midnight, and I work 6 to 6, and days, like, the times change, like, the month changing mid-shift. So anyway, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 things left on my wheel that did not get touched. I will spin for one more of those, and then it'll be time to start a new month, and I'm doing a full reset. Typically I would work on my Year of Whips first, and then work on these, and then work on anything else, but we're being a little more arbitrary than that, and so I will start the completed wheel. Let's see, today is the 31st, right? No, today is the 30th. So, and I'm working on Mira. At midnight, it'll be the 31st. I will work on one more thing, and then after that, it will be September, and we'll start a whole new wheel. Yep. Some people are doing, like Lollipop Stitches is just doing her Sal's. Is the only thing going to be on her wheel. I would like to, I'm tempted to do my Year of Whips wheel first, and then go to the other wheel, but I don't know. I still haven't decided. We'll see what happens. And yeah. Okay, so I bought a couple things. Mostly, I was going to buy the one thing because I was watching the Joan and Kelly show, and she said, I'm almost out of this fabric, and I'm not going to get it anymore. And so I said, oh, time to go buy me a Bitsy Bob. And I went, and then I found another fabric, and I couldn't decide between them. And everyone else was saying the one I found, not the one I went there for. And so I couldn't decide about them both. Okay, so, and these are the Bitsy Bob 2s. I could have bought the 3s, but I didn't really need that much space. And this is one of the ones I got. This is one of the ones I originally wanted when I first started seeing them, and I didn't get it, and then I saw it in there, so I was like, this is the one everybody else chose for me. They're like, I do have to get a hold of Kelly, though, because this one is not connecting like it's supposed to. But it came with the floss card, which I don't know if I'll use. I think the idea is really neat, but I don't use floss cards, so I don't know about that. And then it's got, the one extra. This lighting is not going to be friendly, that you can slide around. So that's that one. And I really don't know what I'm going to use these for, because I don't have enough to go in every project, but I don't know. And this is the other one. This is the one she was talking about on her video, saying that she only had a limited amount left, and I bought one. When I went to the shop, there were 6 of these left and 3 of the other one left, and I said, just give me both. love it. It's so cute. So cute. Okay. So, that is it for me this week. We have a follow-up with Ryan's surgical team next week. And they did do a biopsy, even though I had a biopsy done on the tumors. They did another one when they removed them, so we'll see how that turned out. I don't expect to get any different results, so no biggie. And then really it's work and stitch and work and stitch and sleep and eat and work and stitch and yeah, that's it for me. I hope you all have a great stitchy week. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for liking, subscribing. If you're interested in virtual stitchers, I will add the link down below. We got a ton of people that came after my last video and after Stitching May's video, and now apparently Michelle must have mentioned it in her video because I got a new ad tonight that said, you know, because we ask 2 questions: how did you find out about us? Whether it be this video, Stitching May's video, and apparently now Michelle's, or the Sweary Stitcher. I will link her below too. But only go there if you don't mind a little cursing because she can't really help herself. She'll warn you before the video starts. So how'd you find out about us, and what is your favorite current whip? This way we know you're a stitcher. We also get to learn a little bit about you, your taste, and maybe even an icebreaker if we need one at some point when we're talking on a video chat. So, I just absolutely love being able to spend time with people because, you know, there are some areas like Austin where they have the Austin Snarky Stitchers, that there's several of them and they get to meet up every week. But I do not live in that kind of area. As far as I am aware, there's only one other cross stitcher within an hour's drive of me. And I haven't really gotten to know her. Otherwise, it's several hours to meet up with stitchers. So it's not something I can do a lot, or I have to go to retreats. And I know there are several of us like that. We live rurally. We live, even if you did live near me, the chance of me having time to come over to your house without my kids and stitch, or, you know, days off of work because I do work so much, it's just difficult. And so this way we're all sitting online on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube anyway. We can connect with each other and stitch together. I got so much stitching done tonight because a lot of times I won't start stitching until it gets dark because it's hot, it's bright. But as soon as I got in my shack tonight, I got on the virtual stitching on the Google Hangouts with Regina and Carly and, oh geez, who all was there? Jen and Chris, and I'm forgetting somebody. I know I'm forgetting somebody because I'm that person. But, you know, I started stitching immediately because they're stitching. I'm not just going to sit here and not stitch. And so I started stitching at like 6:30 instead of 8:30. Excuse me. Got so much more stitching in. So, yeah, it's a great thing. I'm very excited about it. So, again, I hope you all have a great stitching week. Happy stitching.